Well, if you copy trading, you're an absolute moron and you deserve to lose all your money. And with that out of the way, we're going to talk today about a stock called VIPS Holdings Limited, ticker VIPS. I started looking at short candidates to rebalance my portfolio following the recent news of the upcoming rate cuts. And in my view, this provides a good opportunity to start shorting Chinese ADR stocks, primarily because there is some uh, momentum going in the Chinese stock market due to the interest rate cuts that China introduced over the last couple of years. But now this dynamic is shifting in favor of the US, that is going to start seeing those interest rate cuts coming as well, propping up the stock market and leaving in comparison the Chinese stocks as a not so good option in terms of appreciation. So because of that, I'm looking at this company. It also has a pretty good correlation to some of the stocks that I'm currently long. So I have decided to enter this and I'll explain the structure later. So what's happened with the story so far? Well, if we have a look at the longer term, you can see that this is a company that's been listed since 2012. And it hasn't really done much since. It's had a series of boom and bust, and it seems that we are now entering another bust stage. Now, what that is because first of all, this is a 6.72 market cap company, and the revenue, which is quite an important metric in the market cap of a company like this, has decreased significantly over the last few months. As you can see, that has a pretty negative impact on the stock, which was ranging between 15, 18, and then dropped to 13, currently at almost 12.60. And I think there's room for further downside. In terms of what they do, they have an online platform in China with outlets. It's mostly clothing and discount products. So with that, we can have a look at the history of earnings, and you can see that they had a pretty rough patch in 2021, but also this year it's not been great either. Now the latest earnings report, which we can see here, it wasn't too bad, and I think that's uh, probably why we may have not seen such a pronounced drop as it could have been, because it went from 14 to 1150, which it is a big move, but it could have been a lot bigger. And the reason for that is this. So when you look at the earnings expectations and all the projected metrics, you see that sales, EBITDA, EBIT, EPS, and GAAP EPS, they're all being downgraded. So now I do see, and I do agree with this article here in Seeking Alpha, that this could be a value trap, which is one of the profiles I look for my shorts. In this analysis, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I saw an interesting chart, which I think paints an interesting picture of how VIPS compares in terms of gross merchandise value to some other players. So that brings us in comparison with PDD Holdings, JD, and the interesting thing is that these guys, PDD and JD, have reported improvement in order value. So it seems to me that these guys are not able to catch up with where the market's heading. PDD reported yesterday their their quarter, and actually it was rather poor. So you can see here that the stock fell 30%. And the reason why that happened is because they said that they're anticipating a very competitive sector and constraints in the market, but also they disappointed on revenue. So you see how the stock fell off a cliff. So if this is happening to arguably the largest player in the industry, and they are saying that they see the industry continue to be affected with other challenges. Well, I mean, you can see by yourself. So we pull up quickly a calculator in terms of so VIPS is literally 4% the size of PDD in terms of GMV. If PDD is struggling so much, what is going to happen to an organization like VIPS, which is way smaller? And of course, that also is in competition with JD, which is apparently doing okay. So let's look at JD. Let's see how those guys are doing. So those guys, they're doing, well, they're doing all right this year. Not great, but they're not doing amazing either, right? So at the same time, you may remember one of my previous ideas, C Limited, which is in competition with Shopee here. And you can see that it is quickly catching up to VIPS in China. So it's about half of the size now. So by introducing this short into a portfolio, I'm de-risking my uh, long C idea, but I'm also exposing myself to further opportunities down the line, and I think there will be. Now, the company is reporting earnings on the 18th of November. And we have some expiries here expiring on the 15th. So with that, I would be likely selling some 12 puts expiring in November, and then buying some more puts expiring in January 2025. Wait for the earnings announcement, let the profit run through. That also gives me the ability to restructure along the way if something goes wrong. But I find the volatility here and the liquidity quite compelling for a stock like this. So that's a stock position I'll be entering soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.